All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And you are half of a pool right now, Mario. I don't even know that's possible. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I don't know how to change it either. Is the problem? Hold on.
That is
But
pretty
it's okay.
trippy. Mario came in, everybody, and he came in as a pool. There we go. That was pretty awesome. All right, welcome, everybody. Today's going to be Vibe Fridays, as we love to build on Friday nights because we have nothing else better to do. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to create an automated newsletter for anybody that's watching. So I'm going to do the first initial part to kind of get everybody kind of like just get the newsletter kind of running and going. And then Mario's going to take it over. And what he's going to do is he's going to use NAN and basically AI to auto create the newsletter. So you now have a weekly newsletter with very little to no effort. So I'll do my first part just to kind of understand like what we're going to be trying to do as far as the newsletter. So all we're going to do is we're going to do a very basic page where we're going to set up a landing page and a thank you page. And what's important about that is I'm actually going to give you guys some goodies. And a lot of people keep asking all the goodies that we share on the show. Can you get them when they're not live? No, you cannot. The whole point of Vibe Fridays is for you guys to vibe with us. So we will only be sharing certain resources during the live sessions. So if you're here, you win. And if you don't, you snooze, you lose. So you kind of don't get it. So first and foremost, I'm going to share my screen real quick, just to kind of get everybody going. If I can actually get to the share screen button today. And I'm coming in from a particular flight, not a flight, but like literally from another mastermind. And I am ready to rock and roll for you guys today. So we're going to do two things. First thing we're going to do on the chat for everybody that's here with us, say hello. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you some GPTs that are going to help you create your newsletter. All right. So I'm going to log in my GPTs. These are all funds, ones that we've been using quite a bit. And I have one that helps create a newsletter landing page. And then I have another one that actually helps you create your newsletter. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and I'm going to go over to my GPTs. Oh, I finally said it right. Wow, that's amazing. So we're going to go over here and come on, Mr. Landing Page Bot. All right, hold on. Newsletter paper sign up page. This is what we're going to do. And I'm going to give you this bot. So everybody, again, that's on the call, congratulations. You guys get a free AI bot. So I'm dropping it into the messaging area right there. So anybody that's watching it directly from, I think actually everywhere. I think it'll actually post everywhere, but I don't know. We're going to have to find out and see. And I'm actually going to give you guys the one that comes up with the newsletter idea for you, just in case you don't have a newsletter. And one of my mentors and really good friend, Perry Belcher, is big on newsletters. He's got me thrown into the whole newsletter area. And I got to be honest, it's a great resource for referrals. And a lot of my business does come from my newsletter. It started at 0 about 2 years ago. It's up to 7,000 people. And it has an open rate about like 37 to 42, and it ranges in between there. And I make anywhere from $1,000 to like $3,000, sometimes even $5,000 a month from my newsletter directly. So for anybody that doesn't have a newsletter and you want to build your audience, this is the way to do it. And then today, we're definitely going to give you an excuse of not making it hard, where we're going to have an automation where the AI is actually going to help you create your newsletter so you can send it out to whatever staff you have. All right. So hopefully you guys got those two bots that we just shared with you to make your life super ridiculously easy. And what we're going to do is we're just going to build something real quick that's going to hold it. And then from there, I'm going to let Mario take over, but I'm just going to give you some ideas of the way you want to create it. So you're going to come into your high-level account. You're going to go to sites. Inside of sites, you're going to come over here and you're going to do just basically, we're just going to create a folder because we like to keep everything neat. In here, we're going to do like 03 or 01, and we're going to call it newsletter. All right. And inside a newsletter, we're just going to go ahead and confirm. Once we confirm, any day now, there we go. We created a folder. Inside the folder, we're going to create our newsletter landing page. So we're going to come over here. This is going to be, this is my other company, Digital Voltage Media. So I'm going to put DVM newsletter. And again, we're not looking for crazy optimization right now, meaning I'm just worried about making it looking semi-nice. So we can definitely get to the automations and making this really super cool. So we're going to create the landing page by using the landing page pre-built section templates. So again, I'm moving very fast on purpose because again, you can always go back and watch this. So I'm going to come over here and this is going to be newsletter landing page or just newsletter. Path is going to be /newsletter. All right. And I'm going to create the step. And by the way, feel free to interrupt me from your pool setting, Mario. So go ahead. Still coolest ever, but so I'm going to create from blank just to show you guys how easy this is and not to overcomplicate. So you go over to the pre-built sections. I personally like a certain feel and style to my newsletter. So what I'm going to do is look for product, team, testimonial. I'll tell you when I find it. And then coming up with new ones, which is pretty cool. Call to action, about, welcome. There we go. Welcome. That's what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is just really make it super easy. Drag over this nice blue section. I don't like any of this information.
Yeah, you want to keep it as simple as possible.
Super simple. And you notice how it start asking for like, who's the target audience? What's the headline and all this? Now, what I'm going to do is if I go to my custom GPT, the one that I just shared with everybody, and from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some questions in here and it's going to say, ready to write my email newsletter sign up page. It's going to ask me a total of 8 questions. I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to say, hey, I am just doing a demo. Please skip all the questions, make up a newsletter, and give me the copy. Okay. Hopefully the bot's smart enough and it's going to do that. Awesome. And it did. And here's a demo newsletter sign up page. Look, it's going to give me a headline. Want to grow your online business without all the guesswork? Love it. I'm going to come over here. This is already a solid headline. My goodness.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's already there. So make it super small, right? This is like huge. Huge. It's huge. So we're going to slow that down a little bit. Oh, hold on. All right. Then we're going to come over here and we are going to get a little intro teaser. Introducing, I actually like to put it on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another column here, move it up on top, add a little element, do a sub headline. I'm going to drop this right here. Can't see any of it. So what we're going to do is change the color to ensure everybody can see the actual writing. So we're going to do bold, white, boom. All right. And got a little bit more cool stuff over here. We have some bullets, which is awesome. So I'm going to grab this. Welcome to your favorite business growth companion. Seriously, the copy on this is pretty darn good. My goodness.
Yeah, for real.
It's not bad, right? And we're actually going to try to do 2 things. We're going to create the mock-up inside of GPT-1 image provider, or we're going to try Ideogram. It's basically like a very well put out. I mean, I love it. I'm going to introduce it to you guys. It's an AI that does images, and I'm very impressed with it. We're going to take this bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 4, all this other stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bullet section right here. Again, we're moving super fast, guys, on purpose. Do not be intimidated by this. This is super easy because this is the important part, but it's also the part where you can just try to do this yourself and you would figure it out. I promise you. All right, marketing, and it's got so many things going on here. All right. And then we're going to get to the super exciting part because this is the boring part. The exciting part is going to be when Mario is just going to tell us how to tech this up. All right. And then boom. All right. I got my 4 little bullet points. Everything's looking super sexy, right? So now what I'm going to do is on the axis here, it's grab your edition now. And now, like my uncle Perry Belcher likes to say, is we need some kind of like, what do you get if you get the newsletter now? So I'm going to say, hey, what's a nice free gift that we can give to entice people to get our newsletter. And literally from his mouth, and he's the godfather of marketing, everything he says out of his mouth, I literally do. And he says, free PDF and checklist, download now and get your 10 impact marketing solopreneurs actionable. I love it. Whatever this is, the entrepreneur hacks. Love it. This will be perfect. It's a free PDF or cheat sheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little headline here, and we're just going to drop this. Sign up today and get, boom. Look at that. Make that all bold. All right. And again, don't worry about it looking pretty now. This is what you do when you start something. You should start it, get it built out, and then you come back and you modify and do everything else. Sign up today and get 10 impact marketing hacks for solopreneurs, actionable and digestible. And again, right here, grab your edition now and claim your bonus, right? Claim your bonus. I want to make something super sexy that people will automatically say, this is a no-brainer. I got to get it. Now, we're going to have it open a pop-up, and we got to build a form, and we're going to do that in a second. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Ideogram. I know I'm going to spell this wrong, Mario. This is like, oh, man, wow, I got on my first shot. Yay, I win.
I've never seen Ideogram before.
Yeah, it is. It is by far one of my favorite AI drawing tools for any kind of marketing material. I think you can get a free account. I actually do have credits in this, but I believe you can toy around with it pretty well. So for instance, you see how it has all the writing in here? It's great for logos. It's great for mockups. It's great for anything that has any kind of written wording on it. So I'm going to say, come over here. Remember, we're calling our digital Edge Digest newsletter. Oh, that's an awesome name. This is such, I might have to go and create this. I'm going to come over here and I'm like, please make a mock-up newsletter image for this newsletter title, right? And I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. And again, I'm not really worried about like making it super complex and figuring all this out. I'm just going to go ahead and generate this, and I'm going to copy over here, and I'm going to give old ChatGPT a try also. So I'm going to come over here, duplicate this. I just want a sexy image that people can just automatically download. I want it to be something like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Let me go ahead and download it. That's the feel and vibe I want. And create an image. Let's see who wins. All right. So Ideogram is going. I think I said generate, right? Oh, look at that. It's got some good ones in here. Let's see. I'll say make it more of a book. But you see, that's AI. Isn't that pretty good?
But I mean, considering that AI previously couldn't count to 5 when it came to fingers.
Yeah, that's right. So that's not bad at all, right? Let's see. Actually, GPT image 1 might be impressive today. Let's see. So we'll go back in. We'll generate. All right, I ran out of credits. But look, it did come up with some pretty, actually, this is not bad either right here. I might have to like save this image. All right, so we'll save it. And let's see how old ChatGPT. It does take a minute now. Oh, but it's it already put it underneath. It already put it in a nice little mock-up place. Look at that. Oh, it's got the big D. Look at that. Oh, but the title's all messed up. No bueno. See, all right. Ideogram 1, ChatGPT 0. Like so.
ChatGPT 04 mini instead of 4.0 or 4.0.
Oh, but look at this, man. Whoa. Oh, we got a winner. That is super sexy. Look at that, guys. Ideogram for the win. All right, that is definitely a winner. I'm going to take that image. I'm going to upload it. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a landing page for pretty much like my newsletter going forward. And I probably change the background and all that, but I just want to get something up and going. I have a free gift to entice people to go in there and actually download my newsletter. I have a newsletter image that I actually created using Ideogram, which I think is pretty darn good. And it's got a whole bunch of things you can do. You can remove the background. You can make it more of a canvas. It's got a lot of options. Pretty good tool for anything written. So you got to introduce to that. You got 2 free GPTs, right? One to write your newsletter copy as far as the landing page. And then you got another one that's actually going to be the one that helps you write the actual newsletter and come up with a newsletter and help you write it. So it has a whole newsletter idea bot for anybody in any industry. Doesn't matter what you do, but I guarantee you that newsletters are the way to go. And now the only thing left to do before I turn it over to my partner in crime here is we're going to add a form. So we got to go out and create a form. And I can go ahead and add more because there is more copy to be added. But again, because of the essence and time, I want to make it super fast and super easy for you guys that honestly, if you go to the biggest newsletters in the world, no bull, like this is the truth. If I go to Newsette, this is one that basically sold for 100. Well, it's valued at 220 million. It was started by one woman during the height of COVID. She then expanded to several women that write this article. And now Sephora, I believe, bought 40 million into it. Because again, it's one of the best newsletters that people read. And this is their landing page. Look at that. This is it. There's like nothing else. But because it's spread so wide, this is what it has. This is why when you're starting out and you're like kind of not known yet, you can come in here, try to throw in a free gift. Again, I take that, no credit for that idea. That is totally Mr. Perry Belcher. Again, the godfather in marketing, a good friend of mine. And he is pretty awesome in this stuff. And he always suggests have an enticing offer with your newsletter. You're going to convert like 3 or 4 times better. All right. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come out of here and we created a newsletter. You got your newsletter landing page. We have to create a form. And then we're going to turn it over to Mario. Mario is what he's going to do is he's going to create an automated newsletter. That's going to happen whatever day of the week we want. That's going to draft your newsletter, put it all in high level. And then more importantly, you're going to be dishing it out every week if you want, right? And it will help you create at least a cadence that allows you to do it. But now let's just quickly build a form. We want something super simplistic. Again, the main idea today is to all have our newsletters up and running and then have an automated process that creates our newsletter for us going forward. So I'm going to come in here, and anybody that's watched anything that we've done, we're basically going to come in here and just type in newsletter sign up. And when it comes to newsletter signups, I strongly recommend just going for like first name and email address. And if you're only connecting email, we do not need the disclaimers. Privacy and policy and terms never hurts. And we're going to come in here. So you got first name, you got last name. That button color is horrific. So we're going to change that to blue. All right. And this is going to be sign up. Sign up today and claim your bonus. All right. Push that bonus hard because we want to. All right. Come in here. Awesome. Now we got a form. And with every form, remember, there's got to be an action, right? So we're going to create a quick automation just to give everything that Mario needs to get this to automated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my automations. And again, big on folders by now, guys. You guys know it. I'm going to do 01 newsletter sign up. Okay. And right from here, go to the form. We're going to create a workflow, simple workflow. We're just going to make sure that things are created in here, meaning when somebody signs up the form, they get added a tag that they can now get a newsletter. And more importantly, we're adding them to our system. So for anybody that's just trying to generate leads, newsletters are the way to go. Trust me on this. Like I said, mine makes quite a bit of money right now, and it keeps on growing, which is even better. All right. So for whatever reason, we were a little hung up there. Come on, high level. Give us some juice here. Going down, Mario. I'm going down. It's
sometimes it's a little bit slow, you know?
Yeah, I think we were moving too fast for it, so I got scared. Come on. Come on. You can do it.
It's like, I think I can.
It is Friday night, man. I mean, after all, it's been a tough week, so maybe it just like needs a little breather. All right, we will get the automation, but in the meantime, while this is going on, I'm going to duplicate my tab. I'm going to go to the sites area because maybe sites are moving a little bit faster or maybe not, and I'm completely crashing. I am completely crashing. I feel it. Let's get rid of some tabs here. Tabs are not our friends when we are working on things. All right, let's try sites real quick. Site's got some life. All right, so maybe it's just there we go. Everything's just popped in. Fantastic. So now let's take a little step back, go back into our newsletter, add our wonderful form. Okay. So we're going to come in here. We have our newsletter that we literally built out in seconds. I think it took a total of 15 minutes. And what we're going to do is create a little pop-up. The pop-up is going to be a little sign-in, a little headline that just says, sign up here and claim your bonus. All right. And we're going to do a little thing right there, add a form. Inside the form, we're going to go to waitlist. Come on, waitlist. Or not waitlist. What am I saying? Newsletter. Newsletter sign up. Beautiful. All set to go. And right now, we're going to use the form on the action builder again, because I want to make sure we get to Mario where we're auto creating this newsletter, because I think that's going to be super exciting. And I got my form. And now and all I did, by the way, guys, all I did was add a pop-up. And that pop-up on that button is now for them to register for the newsletter. And then the only thing I'm going to do now is inside the folder I created for automations, name newsletter, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to use N01 newsletter sign up. Okay. One form registration right here. So form submitted, because that's the action that the customer is taking. And I'm going to select newsletter sign up. Right from here, we're going to do a tag so I can identify the people that have signed up for the newsletter. So this will be literally newsletter sign up. Newsletter sign up. Okay. And last but not least, a little confirmation email. Some people like to do opt-in. We're not going to get on opt-ins today, like double opt-ins. We're just going to send, hey, thank you for joining our newsletter. So I'm going to come over here. You're in. Claim your bonus now. And if you're really lazy like Nuno is, you come over here, go back to the same one. Hey, do me a favor. Actually, it's on the other side. Hold on. Come over here. Hey, do me a favor. Give me the welcome email for the newsletter. And also, I picked this as the giveaway. All right. Look at that. Boom. And we let it all ChatGPT real quick. Beautiful. Look at that. Welcome to Digital Edge Digest. The fact that the name is pretty badass. I got to give it to Chat today. Chat's on fire. Awesome. And here you go. Just copy the copy for now. Copy the copy. That's funny. And just come in here, make it real quick. Boom. I would then actually go ahead and make the guide. And I'm done. All right. I am relinquishing control and I'm moving it to my good buddy Mario. And now we're taking it where we're going to build the automation that's going to automatically create this newsletter for you. So you can kind of put this in the back pocket and you now have another asset. So let me stop my share and Mario, over to you, man.
All right, buddy. Let me pull up my N8N instance. So for those of you who have been following along with us, we use a platform called N8N. That's the easiest platform to build in. I'm just trying to get my screen share up here. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, Nuno?
I got you.
All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, so we are in N8N, and what we're going to do is you can actually see I have a workflow here already called high-level change log to N8N, generate blog to high-level blog post to email newsletter. We're going to build this from scratch. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into my GHL Coaches tutorial. I am going to create a workflow, and that workflow, Nuno, where do you think I should grab content for our newsletter? Like, what's a good spot? What do you got for newsletter content, buddy?
I would say anything that has like podcasts of any sort, PLR, or I would suggest just maybe Google News in general, anything that is really searching around there. So either of those.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go to RSS feeds list, and I want one from let's see, RSS feed list, the Onion. Top 3 Onion RSS feeds. Ooh, I got one directly from the Onion. I got a local Onion and an entertainment Onion.
I say business if we could, and I would probably even say like, doesn't Neil Patel have one like his marketing whole thing or HubSpot?
No fun. All right. Follow blog Neil Patel. Let's see. I need the actual RSS feed link. We got a feed spot. Moz is actually going HubSpot marketing. Let's do HubSpot marketing. RSS feed. All right. So this is what an RSS feed looks like, guys. So an RSS feed is basically a large XML document full of text and other things. So there's tons of content in here. What we need to do is take this content and pull this content on a regular basis. So we're going to go back into our automation, and we are going to set a timer here. So we're going to do on schedule, and we're going to do on a weekly schedule. 1 week, we're going to do Mondays. And we're going to do it at what time's a good time to send a newsletter?
6 a.m. in the morning. Best time for a newsletter to go out are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 a.m. in the morning.
All right, so we'll do Tuesday at 6 a.m. And we're going to do schedule trigger for Tuesday, 6 a.m. All right, we have our trigger set up. The next thing we need to do is we need to grab that RSS feed. So we're going to go into this RSS reader, drop this URL. We're going to leave this alone, RSS read from HubSpot. And we're going to test this step. What this is going to do is this is going to grab in all of this content. So you see here, we have all this content coming in, right? We've got 50 total items. That's quite a few items. Oh, look, Nuno, I'm a brick wall.
This is by far, like, this makes it fun because we don't know what you're going to show up as.
Said that she liked me better when I'm transparent. I guess she got her wish. So the next problem is we've got a 50 item list. What this means is it's going to fire 50 times if I drop this into ChatGPT. So what we need to do is we need to actually aggregate this information. So we're going to aggregate this information right here using this aggregator card. And we need some fields to aggregate. So we're going to aggregate the publish date. We're going to aggregate the link, aggregate the title. But actually, you know what? I'm just going to aggregate all the items into a single list. I got the RSS feed from FeedSpot to answer Valeria's question. I am not a comedian by night. My ex-wife said I was really not that funny, but I try. You know, sometimes I make people laugh. She was a terrorist, though, so it's all good. So I'm going to aggregate all of this items into a single list. So aggregate all items. And I'm going to hit test step. What this is going to do is this is going to create one item. So you see here, we have one item out, 50 items in. Now it's digestible by ChatGPT. What we're going to do now is we are going to go in here and we are going to go into our GPT. But you know what? I want to use, I want to use 4.1. So I am going to really quickly do some different. I have some ideas, Nuno. How creative do you want me to get? We've got 30 minutes left. I feel like I can get creative.
Yeah, I think we can get creative. I think we should say, so here are my thoughts. I definitely think we need an image. I definitely think we need some sections. And I definitely think we got to like make it so it doesn't sound robotic or AI-ish.
I'm trying to think what would be the best way to do that, because I mean we can definitely have it generate an image and make some sections, but yeah, let's go ahead and do OpenAI and let's have it let's do, we are going to message a model, and we are going to message that model with all of this data as the user. And I want to see, I wonder how big this is in size. 2.3 megabytes, it's probably over 1 million tokens. So let's see what happens if I message the model. I bet it's going to error out.
I think you got to pick one.
Oh,
You got to pick a model, yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to pick 4.1 just because that's got the biggest context window. And I'm going to write a quick system message because we may have to actually shrink this data up in the front. Write a newsletter using the highlights based on this attached information submitted in a user prompt. All right, and let's try testing this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's let's see, message content type, system, simplify output. Messages 0 content type. Maybe it's just too big.
Or maybe is it pulling the right the right data source? It's reading it in an array. Does that matter?
No, it shouldn't matter. We can make it 2 JSON string. That may be easier.
Oh, at least it's going.
See if it complains.
Yeah, that's a lot. 2.8 is pretty big. So the whole goal of this is like biggest problem that people have is I'm trying to do a newsletter. 1, people forget. 2, people run out of time. 3, it is a really good resource for you to just keep your audiences engaged. And again, people can kind of go out and do whatever it is. But again, this is kind of help it out. And yeah, Eric, who's answering from chat, it is like NAN is like Zapier and Make. It's just a very advanced beginner. I think like the way Mario explained it, I think like 2 weeks ago was you have like Zapier that's like the elementary level, then you have like Make that's kind of like the high school model, and then you got NAN that's like the college advanced mathematics model. So it takes a little bit more know-how, and you have to know a little bit of coding in order to do it. Oh wow, it just executed. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it did. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this content. So this looks like it's in Markdown, which is great. But the problem is it says absolutely here's a newsletter draft using the attached article and recent HubSpot blog marketing news, organize the highlights. We don't want this. So what we need to do is tell it output just the newsletter content and nothing else, as this will be sent directly to the customer. Include images from the RSS feed where relevant, and place buttons into the newsletter. Let's see. Place buttons into the newsletter. Output the content in raw HTML and include all of the necessary tags. The content should be the content should be, what do we want to say? The content, nope, I want the buttons. That's what I want. That's what I was thinking. The buttons should be blue and light orange alternating. You should always include the date and a link to the parent article as a button. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm putting in my system prompt, and my system prompt is where I basically tell it what to do, right? So right now it outputted in Markdown format. Not only did it output in Markdown format, but the Markdown format had some additional content that we didn't want in there. So I'm just going to hit test step, and let's see what it does.
And again, yours might be a little bit different. And mind you, we're doing this off an RSS feed. You wouldn't even need to do that. You can do it where you fill out a form and it gives you the idea for the week. So there's a lot of different things you can do that can start this. We're trying to give you the easiest one available so you can start this like tomorrow. And notice that RSS feed that Mario pulled from, that's like one of a gazillion. There's a lot of RSS feeds in there that you can leverage that are pretty popular to basically do any industry that you feel you need to. But if you're right now any kind of marketing agency or you're running a kind of anything, that's something you're going to want to do just to kind of get it up and going. Yeah, there's a lot of differences between NAN and Make. NAN, I would say, is got more of an energetic feel to it. It works like APIs with Make. Make now has also an MCP and an energetic server also, but I think NAN just gives you a little bit more abilities. Very similar, but it has a lot of more open things you can do with it versus a Make. And you can also create interfaces in here like forms, chat. Like there's a lot of things you can embed in sites and everything else. So it gives you a lot of freedom on the front end to build around whatever you have going on.
So the next thing I'm going to say is I need to tweak this a little bit because it included HTML Markdown. And I'm going to have it output the content as JSON. And the reason I'm going to do that, output the content as JSON, do not use Markdown, and only output the raw HTML. We're going to test this step. We just wait a second. And we're just waiting for ChatGPT to think. It's got a pretty big window to think about. And Tracy, I'm using N8N on a cloud-hosted server on DigitalOcean.
Which, for anybody interested, if you click here, Mario's little QR code, he actually has a service where you can set up your own server directly for NAN. So scan it, have fun, and you'll be able to get your own local NAN hosted server, which NAN, for anybody that's been sleeping under a rock, has one of the biggest trend lines right now, and it's doing incredibly well. I would strongly suggest anybody that's in the marketing world look into it. I'm betting a lot of money on it just because I like the direction that it's going, and the trend lines on this thing is insane. The market is really hungry for something. So if you're looking to set up your own, make sure that you scan that code right there, and Mario will hook you up. He's got a service that he just sets up NAN servers, which I've used myself. So, so we'll leave it at that. Cool. And see, yeah, everybody's a little tired. Even well, that is about 1 million tokens. 1 million tokens processing should take a couple minutes. While we're going through this, again, the goal is that by the end of this, we will have an automatic timer that will automatically have an email drafted and waiting for us to look over and approve and automatically send out. So super important for anybody that just kind of wants to set this up and put it on autopilot and now have another passive, hopefully, source of income that you can do that's pretty much being generated from a third-party source. So it's just like, again, it's how you think about it and what you want to do, but just be very smart in the sense that you do it. I got this with a blog where I write a blog based on Mary, for anybody that knows me, knows that Mary is my operations manager. She literally puts a video directly on an Excel sheet from one of my YouTube videos. That video automatically gets scanned into an SEO ready blog, and it automatically gets printed. And then I just have my web designer, John Marr, go in there and basically doll it up and make it look really nice. And now I'm producing probably one good solid blog post every couple of days. So it's just really smart that these are things that, again, can automate and get out there. That's just going to make your overall process really good and busy. So just keep that in mind as you guys are building this out. So every automation that we are trying to build on Vibe Fridays is something that we hope you guys can use in anything marketing, regardless of the business. We're trying to make it very agnostic of whatever business it is. So just keep that in mind as we go through.
Yeah, so I'm just going to pin this data so I don't have to rerun this again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and actually I want to copy some information that I have created in N8N already, just so I don't have to recreate those API calls. I'm going to go ahead and paste this in here. And what I've got in here, guys, is a email builder. It's going to go ahead and create the email template. It's going to update that template with the HTML content. So I've got my JSON bodies in here. What I need to do is go in and grab some content. So I'm going to wire this up. Yes. To answer Ben's question, the N8N workflow will create the newsletter email and the email content, and the email will include the newsletter content. That's what we're doing right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire this up, and I'm going to give this some input. So I'm going to just delete this.
So Mario, do you mind going over the setup of this? I know that's a little painstaking, but honestly, I think this is what the users are really craving the most, because they have a hard time connecting high level to N8N and how basically, the authorization codes, how to read the API, which API to use. So I think people are really lost in that space. Is there anything, can we just like lightly cover it so then people know where to find it, how to hook it up? Because honestly, I think this is the crux that everybody's like stuck on right now.
Yeah, so we actually covered this in a previous video, which is why I wasn't specifically going over it. But yeah, no problem at all. So we have this N8N demo app right here in the marketplace. You go to marketplace.gohighlevel.com. And in marketplace.gohighlevel.com, what you would do is you would go into your create an app. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And I'm going to just create a new app. We're going to call this N8N Demo App V2. I'm going to make this a private app. I'm going to make it sub-account level, standard level, because I am installing this only on my sub-account. I don't really care about the white label aspect. I'm going to go ahead and create that app. Once I create that app, I don't need to fill out anything in this demo app V2 section right here. What I do need to fill out, though, is the auth and the scopes, right? So I'm going to go into auth, and I'm going to select some scopes. And specifically speaking, we want email, builder write, email, builder read only, email, schedule read only. What we're going to do is we're going to go into N8N now. We're going to go into create a new credential. We're going to grab this callback URL, drop this into the redirect URLs, and hit add. Then we are going to save this. Now we're going to select this as default, resave this. We are going to go into N8N. We're going to call this N8N Demo App V2. We're going to save this. We're going to go back into here, and we're going to generate some keys. Now I am going to delete these API keys immediately after, so it's okay that they're visible. But this is what they're going to look like. You're going to have your client ID, put your client ID right here, grab your secret, put your secret right here. We need to grab our scopes, so we're going to hit OK. The easiest way to grab the scopes, guys, is literally just to highlight, hold your mouse button down and hit Control-C. Then drag it somewhere off the screen. We're just going to remove the double spacing. And what we're going to do now is we're going to hit Connect Account. And we are going to log into app.gohighlevel.com, which I clicked the wrong button. So we're going to go in here and we're going to go to Standard Authorization. Connect my account. This should already be connected to Olibot, but we're just going to connect it again. All right, we're going to come back into N8N, hit Next. We're going to install this on an account. I'm going to install this on Olibot.
We are seeing the okay there. Yeah, it's still in this NAN demo app. Okay, got it. There was a little delay.
So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and burn these keys, which it won't let me. So hold on 1 second. Never seen that before.
Oh,
there we go.
Story of my life this morning. I've been trying to work with AI all day. That's all I keep getting. New things happen today that never happened before.
Here, so for you little fancy hackers that think you're going to hack my high level build, I have deleted those keys. So I am going to go back into N8N and I am going to delete this connection, but that's what it looks like. And I am going to use my regular Olibot one. So now we need to go to the API documentation. So that's going to be located at highlevel.stoplight.io. Again, that's highlevel.stoplight.io. We're going to scroll down on the left-hand side, and we're going to look for email campaigns and email templates, okay? And on email campaigns, we can only get email campaigns, but we can post to create a template and update a template, okay? Now, something I figured out, this is an error in High Level's API, is it doesn't actually support creating the template with the HTML. So we need to create the template, then update the template with the HTML. So what we're going to do here, and I'm going to go ahead and go into Olibot itself. And I am going to go into my sub account. And I am going to go into marketing, emails. And under emails, I will go into templates. So I'm going to kick out of this, go into templates. And you'll see here I have an N8N changelog. And I have how to set up N8N using Docker on DigitalOcean beginner-friendly guide. Nuno actually created this off of the email template or the blog post that you and I created on the last one. Or the first one, I think it was. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start populating my JSON. And I can find that JSON information by looking in the Create New Template option right here. Basically, I'm going to copy from this curly bracket up to this curly bracket. And I would drop this into my little box right here. Okay. And then I start changing things out. So I've got my location ID. You can find your location ID by going into here and selecting this right here. I've got updated by. You'd have to find this by running a GET request. And this is your user ID that you're looking for. You can also find this by going into the user itself, Going into my profile, or it's under my staff maybe. Editing that user, and still doesn't have the user ID. So
It's
what we're gonna
the same way you have location ID. I believe if you click on it, the user ID is up on top too, I believe.
No, it's not up here.
It's not up there.
So what we can do is we're actually going to inspect this.
Oh,
And
really? You got to make it that hard, huh?
come on. Oh, you can't see it, can you? How do I share my whole screen? Hold on one second. Entire screen. You only ever have to do this once. Can you approve that screen share, Nuno?
Yes, I can.
You only have to do this once. And what you're going to do is you're going to type in, and I'm going to send this in a private chat, Nuno. If you can just drop this in the comments. You're going to copy and paste this into your browser console. So we're going to go into the console. And I'm just going to clear the console so that it's a little bit easier to see. And we're just going to have this one document query selector app view.user. We're going to need to refresh our page or move pages around a little bit. And now I should have that information. So if it errors out on the first try, it's not a big deal. But I should have now that user ID. So we need to copy and paste this user ID over into the updated by section. So we're going to copy and paste that over here. I'm just going to grab that user ID again and paste this right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have, we don't need this HTML box right here, but we can leave it there. We do need the fact that it's an editor type of HTML. It is a type of HTML. Plain text is false. I don't have a title, so I'm just going to put in no title, just a date. I am going to delete this because it's just a date. And the preview text and subject don't work anyways. So I'm going to remove these. So this is what I have in my JSON payload. I need to remove this extra comment. I'm going to dismiss this. And we should be good to go. So now if I hit test step, I should get a newsletter created status of okay. I can come back in here and go to marketing, go to newsletters. I have this one, 2025-0509. That is today's date. I open this and it's going to be the default one. Okay, because high level API is a little bit special and it doesn't work the way that it's supposed to work. So now we have to run an update command. So I'm going to create this new email template. I'm going to name this HubSpot weekly newsletter to newsletter in high level. The next thing I need to do is update that template to save it. So what I'm going to do is come in here and I can remove again the subject and preview text. I can remove this comma. I'm going to change this to have just a date. Type of HTML. The HTML that I want is going to be this content over here. So I'm going to drag this. I do need, and this is a very critical step, you'll see here that it's one giant body, right? What I want to do is I want to type in .to JSON string. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it one single string of text as opposed to all those line breaks and everything else. You can see now that there's a /n in here. I've got my title and my name. I'm going to hit test step and bam. Now, if I come back into Olibot and I refresh this page, I should, in theory, have a pretty newsletter.
Oh my God.
So what do you think, Nuno?
I think that's pretty badass. I think that's pretty badass. So, ladies and gentlemen, because we did it in an hour, that's amazing. Literally with 2 minutes to spare, Mario. That was amazing. So cool. So let's just kind of recap. I think that's an amazing newsletter. And again, because it's taking everything that it kind of gathered in and the way that he programmed it a little bit, he was able to keep all the code. Now, again, watch this on slow-mo. We didn't hold anything back. You kind of saw us do it. So just kind of recap everything that happened, right? We created a landing page using custom GPTs that allow you to write the email copy. We also gave you two, not one, but we gave you two that it did the actual emails and everything else. We used Ideogram to create the images just for the landing page. Then we had Mario go in and do the connections, first grabbing the RSS feed from HubSpot. And that answers your question, Bev. Bev's online. She's asking what step created the images. It actually pulled the images from the RSS feed from HubSpot itself. So that's how it generated those in. I don't think they actually generated the image, if I'm mistaken, right? That was pulled from the RSS feed.
Nope, they just.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it pulled it from the RSS feed, which most RSS feeds have images, and it then rewrote it or captured it all. Then basically we made the connection using the marketplace, which again Mario showed this week and last week or the week before. I can't even remember at this point. And that also then created the connection. And we learned that inside of here, you need two steps, one that actually creates the template, the other one that updates it when it comes to high level. And then you also saw Mario going through the different little JSON things you're going to need in order to activate this and make it your own. In reality, this took about an hour altogether. For a person that's just starting out, this will take you a couple hours to kind of figure out all the little missing things and details that you have to go through. But again, just opened it up for another awesome idea for you guys to kind of generate not only traffic, but also another business thing that you can actually do two of the things for you. So that's it. I mean, Mario, it's really awesome because now his shirt actually has the code on it. That fits so good that Vibe Fridays is now on Mario's shirts. That is amazing. You look at that. You just come with your own code. That's actually a pretty good. That actually might be a really marketable shirt. So anybody that wants to market that shirt, you guys can take that idea. But as always, hope you guys are enjoying these. Yeah, that's so cool. Isn't that cool? Hope you guys are enjoying these. If you guys have ideas, drop them inside the comments. Join our free school community. We're hanging out in there. More importantly, we're doing this. You're getting all the assets. You got to show up to get the assets. Got to show up to get the assets. You don't show up, don't ask for them because you're not going to get them. We'll give away free assets as we keep building these out. And Mario's got all kinds of different coaching programs. I have all different kinds of coaching programs. So there's plenty of us to go around. With that being said, enjoy your Friday, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one. All right. Thank you, everybody.